Welcome back to Film Room with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell, brought to you by Twin Cities Orthopedics. Now, Coach, it was only the greatest comeback in the history of the NFL, and we had to find 3 plays. I know it probably was a tough deal, but take us through. I can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, what a game, and really, I should say what a half, because there's a lot in that first half that maybe we'd like to forget, or more importantly, correct. To not ever get in a 33-point deficit like that, but what a team effort to come back. The ability of our guys to overcome. But this guy right here had himself a ball game, and although it maybe didn't translate to a bunch of sacks and things in the second half, let's highlight one of his first half plays that he made. He's up there coming off the edge right there, just on a straight bull rush up top, winning versus one-on-one coverage. We talked about trying to take some air out of the coverage, and when you see that, you see 4 Vikings across the intermediate part of the zone right here, early down call. There's really not a lot of places to throw the football, whether it's Metellus kind of overlapping there at the safety spot. You see the corners awfully tight up top, Patrick Peterson playing into the boundary, and then Daniil showing up on the sack. And when we take a look at it from the end zone, you're going to see a guy that just flat out dominates and wins a one-on-one matchup. One of the issues teams have, especially when you get 94 back into the equation. That's not the best 94 I've ever drawn in my life, but you can see the point. 94 and 55, they're going to send the slide that way. What that means is Harrison Phillips and Daniil Hunter right there are going to have one-on-ones. And when that happens, he can go into his toolbox and how he's going to win. He's just going to go with the good old-fashioned speed to bull right there. And when he bulls that guy right back into Matt Ryan and that coverage is tight on the back end, that equals a 2nd and 18 right there, which is exactly where we want our defense to be, forcing those long yardage plays.
There are a lot of guys in the NFL that can rush with speed, but very few that can rush with power and speed like that.
And length and all the different ways he can get in his bag of tricks. We want to keep seeing that from Daniil. And then you don't come back from 33 down without generating some explosives in the game. We were able to do it at different times with some different players, but how about activating one of the best running backs in football in the screen game, a drive starter type play. What I'm really hunting at this point is just trying to get Dalvin in space, seeing if we can get a 10, 15, 20-yard gain. But what we're going to run right here is just a good old-fashioned kind of receiver perimeter screen. We're just going to end up throwing it to our running back. He's going to kind of take some steps up the field and then come back. Watch the ball location from Kirk Cousins, and then you'll see Adam Thielen get out, cover up his guy. KJ Osborne had a huge game covering up that number 2 player. Then you're going to see the cavalry coming, and it's going to be Cleveland and Darisaw getting out. You're going to end up with a wall of Vikings setting up one of the best running backs in our league in space. Catches it. Notice how he caught that thing grounded right there. And if you could just want to start it from the beginning again, let's just re-rack this whole thing. Watch how he catches this football. Stays on the ground, doesn't leave his feet. He's ready to transition and get north. You see the great blocks from Adam right there on the corner. KJ getting his guy, his block started right there, and then Darisaw and Cleveland. You got to make some decisions when you're these guys right here. How are you going to try to attack this guy in space and also avoid some of these blocks? And then how about this move to get it started? And then I thought this was one of his best moves in the open field all season. This guy right here, Rodgers, is a world-class athlete. 4.29, 4.3, 140. Dalvin can still go by all measurables that we have. He's still one of the fast elite guys. We saw that in Buffalo with the 81-yarder. But what you see here is he'll close the space. Watch Dalvin right here makes this little lateral jump cut, full speed. Makes it look easy, and then at that point it was just avoiding Ezra Cleveland, just trying to help him out, getting in the end zone. What a huge play, getting north and south right there for us was just a huge moment in the football game.
Another great thing is how he didn't come too far back to the football to get the defensive end back into the mix.
No doubt, and every moment
he
you leave,
on that
so many times you'll see running backs and even a lot of receivers in this league leave the ground to catch that ball, and every moment that you're off the ground is a moment that you can't be going north and south, and that all these monsters on the defensive side being able to chase that down. Pete, that's a great point.
An interesting point on that end of it too.
We knew at one point in this game we would need 2 points.
Yes.
And it couldn't just be touchdowns with extra points. So critical. You get all the way back to being down 34-36 in this moment. How are we going to tie it up? we're going to try to have a play where all 4 eligibles plus our back can come to life. And there's a lot to really unpack on this one. So this concept is simply one where Adam Thielen's going to release. KJ is going to try to essentially just find a little soft spot in there underneath Adam. You see 3 defenders over 2. TJ Hawkinson running an in cut right there, and then JJ is going to make himself available as well. But take a look at this just down here first. The 3 over 2 look, they've got 1 extra guy than we have right there. So Kirk's going to initially give a little flash fake, set his feet and eyes over there and decide, can I make either one of these throws? Tight windows, he's going to reset back. And right about that time he resets back, there's TJ uncovering. And when we look at it from the end zone, this is really why you go out and get a player like this. In a critical moment, TJ is going to be running this route on a linebacker because they want to have 2 DBs covering Justin Jefferson on that side. You'll see this other DB, he's going to immediately look up Justin, number 18 out there with the corner. So now what that means is you're getting 58 Okereke right there, one-on-one in space. But look at that coverage. I mean, that's a bear hug. That's red zone, NFL, gotta have it type play, 2-point. Can you, in this moment, run a route, disconnect without truly pushing off too violently to where Kirk can then reset and find you right there. Huge pitch and catch. And resetting that end zone copy one more time if we could. I just want to highlight, you cannot have a comeback like this, have 93 offensive plays, 54 pass attempts without these guys up front. I thought it was a huge moment in the game. 99 right here is the 3 technique. We've got the slide going away. He's now matched up one-on-one with Ed Ingram. And Ed has battled, and watch Ed Ingram right here fight through the down, refitting his hands, finishing that block, creating that space for Kirk Cousins in a gotta-have-it moment. It truly takes all 11 players on each side in each phase if you're gonna try to do something that really had never been done in our league before.
Keeping his knees bent, feet moving, pads low. It's an amazing, and you know, the one-on-one with the linebacker and the tight end, they let those guys push a little bit at those 2 positions. But, you know, for him to be able to get himself open, have that protection, just the icing on the cake.
That's exactly right. And there were so many more plays we really could have highlighted. Just a credit to our entire team and really the makeup of our entire organization right now is we're going to be a tough team to beat because we feel like we can play to the last snap until, as I like to tell our team, they don't let us play any more games. So we're going to just keep grinding, keep trying to get better.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we will see you here next week on Film Room with Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell.